All right, welcome back to Keyboard Shortcuts Part 3. Today I'm going to show you how to use keyboard shortcuts in Google Slides. As I've told you before, keyboard shortcuts are used all over the place in different programs. And this is Google Slides. I'm not going to show you every single one, but I'm going to show you how they can be used in some of the ones that are pretty popular. So let's get started. I'm going to paste some data that I took from had ChatGPT generate for me. So let me, actually it's not working, so let me go ahead and grab it. So I'm going to copy it and just paste it in here. Let me fix this data. Not sure what happened here, why this got put in that column. And this looks like it's a little smaller, so what I'm going to do is just go ahead and do let's actually do a keyboard shortcut. I could select this up here at the top to select all, but instead I'm going to do a Control A. Control A simply selects all, and you guys saw that in other videos in Google Slides in part 1 or 2. I think it was part 2 or part 1. So I'm going to make all of these 10. I'm going to make sure they are all the same. We'll do Arial, and let's go ahead and center everyone. All right, so I did my Control A. Now, some of you are looking at this video and saying, hey, Mr. Holloway, this is actually too small. The text is too small. Well, one thing I could do is do a Control A. I could select it and just make it bigger. But that's one approach, but I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a Control Z, and I'm going to do a Control Plus. Okay, so if you notice, the Control Plus actually zooms in. And notice at the top right hand corner, you're going to see the percentage that it's magnified. So I'm going to bring it to 200. And I'm just going to navigate this down just a little bit here. Okay, so let's say I wanted to have alternating colors for every opposite row, so for every other row. So what I could do is select this first row and give it a color. And then for every other row, I could just select the row and do a Control Y, and what that does, it redoes the previous operation. So Control Y, and Control Z is its cousin, so I can do a Control Z and get rid of that as well. Or again, I could do a Control Y, which will redo it. Okay, redo is really helpful. Another thing that you could do, again, and it works for several different things. If I did a Control B, let's say I wanted to let's just have this whole row be a bold. Actually, I'm sorry. Let me do a Control Y, and then I'll select this and do a Control Y. So it doesn't really matter what you. Actually, let me reset this. Okay, so Control B, and then I want to select this and do a Control Y, Control Y, and Control Y. You can use it with several different operations. So again, I did bold. Let's say I wanted to let me just make it so I'm going to make it bold and italics. Now watch this is going to be italicized. So Control Y and Control Z are very helpful. Okay, let me reset everything. So I'm just going to go ahead and drag and select. Actually, you know what, let's not do this with the mouse. Let's do this using the keyboard. So I'm going to do a Control. I'm just going to select the first cell that I want. I'm going to hold down the Shift button, and I'm going to click right, and I'm also going to click down. Okay, so the down arrow and the right arrow and the down arrow. So I just selected those, and I'm just going to go ahead and reset these. And let's go ahead and reset the bold too. Okay. So the last thing I want to show you is Control F. So Control F is just simply fine. I'm just going to select John. And there it is. I can find John. So that's very helpful. Oh, I'm sorry. I lied. There was actually one more. So Control H. So Control H actually finds and replaces. So you can do, let's select John. And then let's replace with Bob. And we can just go ahead and replace all. We can replace one at a time, but we're going to replace all. And now this John becomes Bob. Okay, so that is keyboard shortcuts in action in Google Slides. There are several more. I would encourage you to go ahead and look through the menus to find some of the ones that are very helpful. But again, with practice, they'll become second nature if you work with it a lot. So anyway, so that concludes the keyboard shortcuts part 3. If you haven't seen my other videos for keyboard shortcuts, part 1 and part 2, I would encourage you to check out the channel and go ahead and subscribe and like the video.